homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today it's time to start getting ready to harvest our sweet potatoes. Now, I can't harvest them today. It's going to rain for the next 4 or 5 days, but I need to take my bush hog off because I need to dig a trench. So I'm going to go ahead and bush hog this because we had a killing frost, and all it takes is a minor frost to kill sweet potatoes. Let me show you. Now, here is a sweet potato vine. You'll notice some of the leaves are okay, but a lot of them are taking the hit. They're all going to be dead. If you looked up, if you could see for the weeds, if you looked up through there, most all of these are dead and shriveled like this. So they're done for the season, and that's okay. That's what you garden for. They're done for the season, so they're ready to be harvested. Now, I don't like to leave these in the ground too long, but because it's going to rain and because I've got some other things on the burner, I'm going to have to leave them for about a week. So sometime next week I'll be able to get out here and harvest these, and I'll show you that when I get to it. But this is going to be a video that's a week and a half in the making, so I'll go ahead and get these cut, get these mowed down, because I mow them all down with a bush hog. But now I try not to mow too close, because if you mow too close, some of these sweet potatoes will be right at the top of the ground, and if you clip the ground, you'll cut the top off of them, and that damages them from taking them down in the basement. So I'm going to go ahead and get at that and mow these down. Hi folks, it's been 3 weeks since I got out and bush hogged off my sweet potato patch. I've had some problems with my leg. Got a nice cortisone shot 2 days ago, so I'm feeling a little bit better in the knee. Still got to get one in the hip, but I'm feeling a lot better. So I'm going to try and harvest our sweet potatoes. I don't know how I'll do. Normally I plow up 2 rows at a time and harvest them 2 rows at a time. But I'm just going to plow up 1 row and harvest it and then see how the leg's doing before I go on. But you can't lay down and stop. You can't let your diseases win. You got to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Now, I do a blog post on the collegehillfarm.com website. You can follow that. Kind of gives you a daily view of little snippets of what we're doing here on the homestead. If you would like to do that, it's www.collegehillfarm.com, and you can go to the blog posts and it'll allow you to see what we're doing each day, and sometimes my thoughts on the way things are going. So and you'll know if you see College Hill Farm stuff, you'll know that I try and keep it non-political. So you can consider College Hill Farm a refuge, not a refuse, a refuge away from the politics of the day, because I'm not going to do politics on my channel. So let's look at, let's get the potato plow on, show you how to hook it up, and then we'll go do some sweet potatoes. Now I start off with the 3-point hitch as high up as possible so that we can get things going. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop that loose from there and just set it. Just let it sit. Now, got to bend over and get the potato plow. That's kind of tough. Oh, let's get the end of it that way. There we go. Now, my potato plow doesn't fit on my quick hitch. So, I've taken the quick hitch off. Actually, I took it off 3 weeks ago. But the potato plow's just got pins that go in the end. So, I'm going to take that pin out and get it in this side of the lift arm. Put the pin back in. And the truth is, it'll hang there while I get the pin out of the other side. Put it in that left arm. Now, I could go ahead and adjust my sway control to make sure that this is straight. But the truth is it's going to pull it as far as straight, just as straight as it can possibly be as I go down the row. It's not going to wiggle back and forth like that. It's going to find the equilibrium point and it's going to stay right there. Now, as far as this part, you want this plow to be as straight up and down when it's in this position as it can be. That way, when you let it down, it's digging under the sweet potatoes and not just dragging the dirt. Okay, if it's like this, it's just going to drag the dirt. You want it to be as straight up as possible. And if you look at that, I'm going to have to lengthen my top length quite a bit. But I don't want it all to be out of this end or all to be out of that end. So I'm going to go ahead, take this pin out, and fasten on the top length. Now, I want to make this, lengthen it out until that plow is vertical. And that's it. That plow is straight up and down now. It can stand a little bit more. Okay, the plow's straight up and down. So when I drop it into the ground, it's going to dig under the potatoes and lift them up. Let's go dig some taters. Okay, I think I'm lined up on the row. So when I go down, the potato plow will go under and then it'll lift the soil and pitch it out on both sides. Hopefully it pitches the potatoes out. But now, I'm not certain if I'm dead on the row, so I may have to do it twice. But normally I'll do this row and the other row at the same time. Now, we're on a garden that's downhill. So the only way I put this potato plow in the ground is with my tractor going downhill, because that keeps it from waggling as it moves and it'll help it stay in the row better. But this is going to move a little bit, okay? It can move that way a little or this way a little. So I'll stay a little to the left of, or a little to the right, excuse me, of the row, and that way this plow ought to center up on it. So, and the reason I don't want to get down there and change the sway control is it's set for my quick hitch and I don't want to change it. Okay, I don't want to move it. So let's go ahead and get down the row and see how these plow out. Now I'm only going to do one row because I don't know how my knee's going to hold up and my hip. So I'm going to do one row, pick those up. I may have to go rest for a little while and then come back and pick up the second row. So let's get at this. that looks pretty productive. So, because of my legs and back, I am not able to bend over and pick up these sweet potatoes. Now I could crawl on my hands and knees, but I'd have to crawl back to the tractor every time in order to stand back up because of the way my leg is. So I'm going to have to do them the way I always do them, with a grabber like this one. Now if you've got an Ace Hardware close to you, I've had this grabber for about 14 years. They still sell them just like this. It is one of the most awesome grabbers I've ever had. I've had 3 or 4 come and go since then, but this one has been awesome. And I'll use a 5-gallon bucket to put the potatoes in so that I don't have to lift them way up and throw them in the bucket of the tractor and move the tractor all the time. So I'll just go down this row with a couple of 5-gallon buckets. When they're full, I'll move the tractor down to them, dump them, and then pick more. So let's get at it. Don't not pick up these, okay? These little ones, that's your sweet potatoes for next year. That's what you put in the bed for sets. Now, potatoes are going to range in size. This is a good size one. I'll have some bigger, some smaller, but I harvest them all. Small ones, big ones. The little ones, you can scrub them up and roast them, but always remember you have to save enough of those little ones back to make your sweet potato bed in the spring. Now, I've harvested the first 10 foot of this row, and it's given me about half a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm going to get on down the row, and then I'll show you how many I get by the time I get to the end. Okay, I've got probably around 150 pounds of sweet potatoes here. I don't know if it's 150. It might only be 120. Okay, there's a lot of dirt in here. So if you take away the dirt, it might just be 120, maybe 100. So my leg says this is where I'm going to end the video today. This is the first row, one row. This is about my average sweet potato harvest. This is nothing extraordinary and nothing bad either. So it's been a medium, an average year. So I'm going to stop here. Be certain to watch our next video on storing sweet potatoes. We'll show you how we store these. But that won't come out for 3 days, okay? It'll all come out Sunday, but it'll be 3 days difference because I harvest these today, harvest the next row tomorrow, and then the day after I'll get them into our storage. Now if you like this kind of stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homestead stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll let you know when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing.